Okay, we'll try this for about the 9th time. My phone was too hot first, and now I got system updates, so try and get this done in this next take here. Okay, so in the true spirit of a budget build, I've got 5.5 inches of lift in the back between the springs that came off the front of the ZJ, which that's one neat thing about a budget lift on a ZJ is you just take the front springs off, put them in the back, and you've got a they say 3.5 inches, but that's full factory 20 years ago height. I think you get more like 2.5 to 3. And I've got a spacer that I'm adding to the equation. And when I put the spacer on over the coil retainer, I don't know if it's a retainer, but it's the coil stud, you can see it comes flush. There's really nothing but this little teeny lip to hold the coil in there. And I want something more than that. So I've looked at replacement solutions, and I'm not going to spend $200-300 just to extend this down to hold that spring in there if I extend way out. I don't want the spring to fall out. So in a true spirit of budget build here, I went and I found in the back, this is a piece of tenting, like you buy a tent at Costco to park your car in. We had a bunch of these circus tents on the property, and I just took, and oddly enough, I took the end of this, you can see it's tapered there, and I cut a slit down the middle, and it actually fits perfectly right, well, maybe not perfectly, but with a little force, it'll fit right over that post, and I can extend that out, the space that I need. And then just for fun, I had the old bump stops that I replaced with extended bump stops from up front, and they just happen to cram in the other end of that perfectly. Not that I'm going to use it as a bump stop, but finishes it off a little bit, I guess, a little more extension. Had to use a little WD-40 to get it in there, but it went. So I did this on the other side to keep that spring from falling out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera down because I can't film this at the same time. And you see maybe it'll just go on there. Oh yeah, let me give it a little force. Well, it'll go on a little further than that. I'm going to use my small crowbar over here. You can see it's leaning up against the bumper. I'm going to wedge that across to the back. I'm going to get this to slide up to right here, and then I'm going to hopefully get that spring back in there. That's always the part I hate the most, is getting the spring in and out, because that's the worst scenario, is, at least for me, is the spring. Anyway, let me get that done, and I'll add that in to the end of here when I get it completed.